Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. B and I'm coming to you from my couch right now because I am in the last few weeks of pregnancy and my back will no longer let me walk around and things like that, so I have to do this intro from my couch. I hope that's okay. Today we're going to be creating an artwork together based on Vincent van Gogh. Now Vincent was a fantastic artist, he's one of my favourites actually, and we're going to be using his bedroom series as inspiration for this task. We're going to have a go at creating a bit of a three-dimensional artwork as well with a simple strategy I'm going to show you, and have a go at adding detail with our colouring. So come along and I'll help you create something just like this. For our Vincent van Gogh inspired task today, all you need is a piece of A4 white plain paper. You'll need something to colour with. I'll use crayons, but you can use textures or whatever you have, and also something to draw with. That might be a pencil, but today I'm going to use a black marker just so that all my lines stand out. You'll also need a pair of scissors, very, very quickly. Grab your drawing materials, get set up for our Van Gogh task today. Now, before we do any drawing today, what we need to do is some folding. What you need to do is put your work in a portrait position, which is vertically long ways like this, and we're going to fold it in half. Just like that. Then, in the middle of your work, I'd like you just to draw two parallel lines. One, two. Now, this is going to create the chair that is in Van Gogh's room. So it needs to be big enough to take up some of the space. We don't want it to be too small. We don't want it to be too narrow. We don't want it to be too wide. So just be conscious of sort of the sizing, but these two parallel lines are just going to give you an indication of where you're going to snip. Two snips. One, and two. Scissors are done, we don't need them anymore. And when we open it and we push this piece forward, we need to fold the bottom, fold the top, and ta-da! We have a three-dimensional little box. Now, this can actually be whatever you want it to be. Can you imagine something else it could be at the moment? You could even turn this task into a picture of your own room or your own living room or somewhere that you love to be. And you could make this wider and turn it into your bed. So this task is not specific to Van Gogh. You could use this strategy to actually turn it into whatever task you want to. But let's put it back flat, because it's a bit hard to draw when things are all 3D, but this is essentially going to be our chair. Now let's take a bit of a look at the life and works of Vincent van Gogh. Now, Van Gogh was from a place called Holland, or the Netherlands, but he moved to Paris when he decided to be a painter because that's where a lot of artists lived. Now, he was a very passionate painter and he just loved it. Sometimes he would even choose to buy paint instead of food because he wanted so desperately to practice and practice and practice over and over and over again, every single day, his painting skills. Now, he loved painting outside, and you can see here there are a few different landscapes that he liked to do. The Starry Night is probably one of the most famous artworks of all. But sometimes getting outside and painting wasn't always an option. For example, when he was staying in a place just outside of Paris called Arles, he actually needed to stay inside a room for a really long time. Sometimes he would paint from the window, but inside the room there wasn't much other option to paint other than himself or the room he was in. So today we're going to look at the pictures that he used to do of his room and have a go at depicting them and drawing the details that he did. So firstly, let's look at the chair. I'm going to leave the image of the chair up so you can have a go at drawing it yourself, but I'm going to have a go as well, just drawing one that I think will look nice. Now the top of the chair needs to go above this square here. If you imagine when it's folded up, this part is where your bottom would go. So this is the back of the chair. Here is the horizon line or the ground, making this the floor and this the wall. So you may choose to have a go at drawing Van Gogh's chair, or you can have a go at drawing your very own piece of furniture that's in your house. Now on Van Gogh's particular chair, there was a cross in the middle, and I think it was made out of something called cane or rattan, and so they had the details of these lines going like this, so I'll draw them in. Again, if you're having a go at doing something different, you'll just turn this into a piece of furniture using the same strategies. When you're drawing, just make sure you're drawing nice and neatly, that your lines connect, they're not sort of just like that. We need to make sure that we try our best with everything, and that means making our work as neat as we possibly can. So there, that's the top of the chair. Let's see if that's working so far. That looks pretty cool. So this square underneath becomes the legs of the chair. 1 and 2. Now I'm actually going to draw 2 legs that might sit behind to make it look three-dimensional. You can see there that my chair is looking pretty realistic, I think, as if someone could just sit down right on it there. So now you can choose to bring out a few details that Van Gogh did in his room. You might choose to do the window, you might choose to do a few of the pictures that were on the wall. You could draw the table, you could cut another slot if you wanted to and make a three-dimensional table. The floors were tiled in one of the images that he did. Then in another one, they're actually floorboards. So you can choose to draw whatever type of floor you like. But either way, we're making it as detailed as we can. Cool. So feel free to use the image that I've left up here to have a go at copying a couple of things that are in Van Gogh's room. You can see here I've drawn part of his door, a few picture frames, and the open window, as well as the chair. Now, I would absolutely love to see if you've had a go at adapting this task and creating your bedroom using the same sort of 3D technique. Please make sure you tag me at artlife.melb so I can see the creations that you are coming up with. So the next step is just adding color. My process today is just going to be using a few textures to sort of outline and make some of the objects stand out, and then I'm going to color in with crayons. Obviously, whatever you have at home, you may choose to use, but whatever you're doing, please do your very best and ensure that the entire area is filled with color. us, but look.
Wow.
3D.
And we can go back in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Now I wonder if anyone can work out the strategy that I've been doing when it comes to colouring. Do you like it or don't you? Feel free to comment below. But instead of just colouring with, say, one colour, I've gotten a few different shades. Now I didn't have any light blue crayons, so I've decided to grab some of Sadie's pencils. Now, just like a painter uses lots of different shades of paint, I've had a go at just grabbing a few different shades of blue, not even blue. I've kind of got a greyish purple here. I picked up an aqua and I've got my light blue, and I'm sort of using them. I've been swapping which ones I'm using. I'm sort of colouring on top of each other just to fill the space and make the space more interesting. What do you think it would look like if I just use one? Kind of be maybe a little bit flat. Might be a little bit boring. And you know what? If you've only got one colour, it's not a big deal. But I thought I'd just teach you the next level of colouring in to make your artwork even more interesting. If you have the ability to use different shades, like I have done for the tiles here and like I've done for the chair, if you have the equipment for that, I really suggest that you start to practice changing up the colours and even changing up the level of pressure you use. That just means how hard or softly you push. So I'm pressing quite soft here, but I might press a little bit harder there, and that makes my colour go a little bit darker. And so feel free to experiment with your colouring in, and rather than just aim to fill a space, try to make the space nice and interesting. There, I'm done. Van Gogh's room. I love it.
So it's as simple as that. I hope you enjoyed learning about Vincent van Gogh and having a go at creating an artwork in his style. Thanks so much for joining me today. And it would be awesome if you could please like, comment and subscribe to the Art Life YouTube channel, and I'll try and bring you more art in the future. Thanks for joining me. I'm Mrs. B, signing off. See ya.